Welcome back everybody to the daily show where I'll be doing technical analysis on stock market. So before we get started, please hit that like button, and if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now, if you want to support the channel and get daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, live trading and all kinds of setups, definitely check out my link down in the description for Patreon, and you can see you can get trade ideas like these that we've been taking recently. Amazon pretty much going in the money today and sold for a nice profit, the runners. And then you got more right here. You can see on GDX that we took on last week. It was a trade from last week, and you can see this thing actually paid. We got out today, and that was on May 16th. And today, this thing, 45 strike, gone up to 47 plus. It was almost 70% on that play, and it's really cheap and really low risk trade on GDX. So if you're interested, definitely check out my link down in the description for Patreon, and make sure you go for that annual membership, because if you go for monthly, there is nothing wrong with it, but some of these trades are long term and you're going to be there for 1 month or 15 days, and that's just not going to work for you. Now, what the stock market did today, and we got some explaining to do here, guys. And you can see, you can call it, Moody's downgrade. Now we got, Jamie Dimon saying whatever crap he's saying, but nothing really working here in this market. And once again, market just shrugged everything off and went higher. Now, what the market did today here on Dow, it was up 0.32%. Nasdaq was flat, S&P going flat, and Russell going down 0.42%. 11 sectors that makes up S&P 500. We got healthcare on top leading the way. So again, a risk off move here in the market. Basic materials and utilities. Look at energy here on bottom, and technology not actually leading the way today. So that is a red flag for the market, and that's not a good thing. Stock market map. Only Microsoft going up 1%. You got Nvidia flat, Apple down. It was down at one point, I think 3%, down 1% today. We got Google flat, Meta flat, Tesla down 2%. We actually played Tesla today, and it was really nice. We got a $10+ move to the upside. Amazon going flat, and you can see, guys, that is a trade that I did share with everybody, and I mean everybody. Even on YouTube, there is a video that came out when this thing dumped, and we're actually up 60% on this play UNH on my calls, and that is fantastic. I'm expecting a 300% profit on this play, and this is a long-term play. So if you haven't already, go check that out, that video on UNH. That's the only stock that I made video on when this thing dropped. You will be able to see that, and there is some good guidance there. Now let's talk about the market, and let's talk about why the market actually dipped this morning and then completely recovered and just went back up. So we're gonna do technical analysis in a different way, or at least we're gonna do some shorter time frames. Now, why the market went up? Well, this morning I actually shorted a futures market last week at the high of the day, pretty much, and then right after closing, market dumped. Right, so I got some futures contract that I took on um, yes, and this morning I sold out. And why? Well, if you look at my screen, right on the screen, guys, you can see SPY wall targets are pretty much higher, 600 to 595. We're already at 595, so that target already hit last week, Friday, and even today. And then they actually raised their target to 600, so pretty much eyeing all-time highs. But to the downside, well, we got one down here, and I think it can come down at some point, but we need catalyst, which is down here at 570. Now, why the market actually just went straight up? Not only this, and I'm just sharing one thing here, and it just YouTube, guys. YouTube and a lot of people on X just going crazy. Black swan, you can see. Market was barely down 1%. It was a gap down. Nothing concerning. We went down 30%, and that wasn't no black swan. And not only this guy here, there's so many other people calling it like black swan, this, that, bull trap, and it's just gonna crash and all that. So when you see all these people are negative on the market and they want the market to come down, market will do the opposite things. And the smart money, people that are trading for a long time, people that have been, buying big, people that have money, And I'm talking about, big institutions and, big people that are buying this market, makers, market movers. I'm not talking about some retail traders, investors. When they see that kind of sentiment where it says black swan and you're down only 1%, and not only this guy, Ron went after, S&P 500, that, top is in and the crash begins. Well, whenever you see that, guys, market will likely to go up. And when I saw that on Saturday, and then more even on Sunday, you guys probably got a hint on my video that I posted last night on big mega cap stocks, and that update is coming on later on. So, if you're new watching, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You're gonna miss on that. What happened? Well, all these, people that are negative in the market did not like that. Market went higher, and then whales are raising their targets even higher. So what happened today? Well, let me just take this off. You guys can see it. I mean, I can even make it bigger if you want to take a screenshot. And these actually change every day. You can see 595, 600 here, and then lower target is 570. So yes, I'm acknowledging that pullback is right around the corner, but we're not gonna get a pullback with these kinds of images like we're down 1% and you're saying Black Monday is back and Black Swan and all that. I mean, come on, man. Anything for YouTube views, that's just pathetic. So here on SPY ETF, I want to look at this shorter time frame with hourly chart, and you can see these were the sessions where we got rejection at 588, rejection at 588, and things were pulling back. Again, we found support right on top of this right here, and then things pushing higher. And Friday it was up to almost 595. And look at today, guys. I mean, look at this pump. We got up to where? Look at this, 595 plus. At least we touched it, and then it was just a bunch of chop and market just flat on the day. So basically we lost nothing. Now, just because I'm saying that people are saying, Black Monday and Black Swan does not mean that I'm extremely bullish and this should be a buying opportunity. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is like unnecessary videos. Black Swan, we're only down 1%. I can see if the market going down 5, 6, 10%. While you can, say that, hey, market going down significantly, this is a good opportunity or whatnot. But 1%, and we did not even stay down, and you're already calling it Black Swan and Black Monday. But you can see what happened here. Well, these machines are smarter than us. Trust me. These algos are smarter than us. These whales are smarter than us, and they can buy these dips immediately. And they can also sell, create a panic from the top. They can sell, 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 and you'll be like, oh, they just bought it last time. Like it was down $5 and SPY went higher. I'm going to buy it. Tell me that did not happen to us before. That, you thought that was the dip and you bought it here. And the next thing you find yourself, SPY was down to 568, and the dips just keep dipping, right? So it's a really risky environment to catch. Obviously, I was not in this play. I'm not catching this small tiny dip 1%. If things are going down 5, 6%, at least 3%, yeah, I would be interested. And I had my levels actually down here, guys, around 583, 585 ish. So we didn't get there, and that's why I did not buy into it. But it didn't even last like 15 minutes. Things were just going higher very quickly. You can see we dipped here and then immediately went back up to where? Well, 590, came back in a little bit, and then things were just going higher from there. So SPY ETF, you can see clearly there will be resistance at 595. We clear that, it's heading for 600 and then 603. That is the resistance on top, 603. But these are well targets that can act as a big resistance. And you can see back to back 2 days, we're getting close to 595 and coming back in. Also, if you look at my screen, if we get up to 600 and then they raise their well target to even a higher price, let's say 615, 610, well, things just gonna be like magnet and it's gonna go there at some point. So keep an eye on that. But going into tomorrow's session, what to look for if there is a pullback, definitely this 588 range, and then bottom of this low today, which is 586, and then this right here 583. Only below that you might see a dump off down here to close some of that gap from last Monday. So SPY ETF definitely a strong day once again, even though there were a lot of red flags everywhere, including what Jamie Dimon said, and also Moody's downgrade, which did not even do nothing. That was a nothing burger downgrade. I mean, news was all over the place, and when I saw the news just taking a big toll on the market, and everybody's just bearish, and how last time the market came down. Let me tell you guys one thing. What happened back in 2000 11, 2009, 2008, and all that, and back in 2002, it does not mean that the same thing is going to repeat. So I don't know why there are some people on YouTube always bringing back, charts from like 1960, like, oh, this is what happened last time. And the Feds, they were cutting the rates, and then suddenly market dropped. Dude, wake up. There is so much, and Feds, they're actually injecting money as we speak right now. There is so much money, so much stimulus we all got. There is so much money in the system. If there is a dip, market, buyers are coming in and buying up the market. So looking at that chart from 1960 and whatever chart you have from long time ago, and making a video that is 1 hour long so you can get some revenue out of YouTube, I mean, that is just pathetic. Who has time to watch all that? Just say whatever you have, that hey, I see this in the shorter time frame, and again, I'm expecting a pullback as well, but I'm not that bearish. I'm gonna call a black swan or black Monday. I think if the pullback we get at some point, we need a catalyst, and so far Moody's downgrade did not help. Now if we get that pullback, I think 5%, maybe even 7%, to the highest 10, that's all we're going to get. I also think this year there is a possibility still, and that would be 70% to maybe even 75%. I would say that market is going higher and possibly will retest previous all-time highs, or maybe even hitting a brand new all-time high. And then from there, we can watch the market and see if the market wants to come down or not. But so far, market had a quick decent correction. It was down 25-30%, and now we made a quick move back up to the upside. So yes, pullback is due. It's going to come at some point, but don't say that black Monday here and things are just going to get wiped out and you're going to get a big dip. Not under Trump's watch, unless this is the only man, not even Jay Powell, this is the only man that can actually drop and give us a dip, which I'm happy about it. If there is a dip that comes our way, I welcome that. Fantastic, good opportunity, waiting for that, but it's not happening. But if we just keep making those bearish videos and joining Ron and saying, oh, Black Monday and the crash is back, well, market is just going to go to all-time highs. That's how things are, because these whales are watching us always, and they know retail sentiment. When they see retails are buying puts and shorting the market, they're going to pump it back up. So it's better to just stay neutral and just see what the market does, and maybe there will be a pullback where we can buy into it. Now, if you're shorting, yes, it's a less risky at this point if you're shorting, but always you got to do your own research before shorting, because a lot of these things are just going straight up, and if you're just blindly shorting, you're going to lose money. And most people, and I have seen that today because I called out a play on UNH for that's, and the position that we have on UNH, it's we still have 2 years on that play, and we're up about 55-60% on that play, and some people are up 100%. And how? Well, when ask about it, like how you got 100%, well, I got couple of weeks of time. That's not what I called. That's not what I do. That obviously you got lucky, and I'm happy that you're making money, but it's really risky. You're taking a call out that is for 2026, 2027, or you're buying shares, and I'm talking about holding it longer, and you're buying this risky option, and now you're up, so you're happy. What if it was going down? Then you'd like, oh, EK said buy it, but I didn't buy, what he was saying, and now things are down. So it's really bad, when you're going shorter term expiration and then things are not going your way. So stay away from those, because there is a reason why I'm calling these, as a longer plays. As the time goes on, it can actually recover and you can get 300-400% on that play. But if you're just looking for quick gains, like a lot of people did last week with the Moody's downgrade, and they shorted weekly puts, unfortunately, if they cashed out this morning, it was good. But if they stayed in for more downside, it got toasted because weeklies, they do not survive. Don't tell me, somebody bought weekly puts and with today's volatility in the market, it actually survived and you're gonna get paid on it. Unless there is a big drop tomorrow, like $20 on SPY or Qs, then yes, of course, that's going to pay you. But with these kind of volatility, weekly puts or even calls are very risky because things, I mean, you saw it, you guys saw it, market came down and it was just chopping the rest of the day, pretty much right at the high of the day. So it's a very risky market right now until things pull back, we get a decent pullback, and maybe the support holds, maybe we get a retest of the daily 200 SMA. That would be fantastic to buy into the market, not quite where market is hitting and getting closer to all-time highs. So triple Q, it's also flat on the day, but again, this thing was down to 514. But if you look at my screen, guys, I mean, I'm not sharing the well target here on Qs. I did share one, and that video just alone on SPY is like 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go quickly through these because I don't like to make a 1 hour video. These are stock market analysis. I don't know why people make so long videos just to get some dollars out of YouTube. I mean, that is just insane, guys. I mean, if you want to make money, if people are going to support you, they'll come and join your Patreon, and these people are real. So just because you're making a 1 hour video, I know the revenue is a little bit more on a 1 hour video, but you don't have to torture people with 1 hour video because this is not something that you're going to get huge entertainment. It just for knowledge, just for education, and once you see it tomorrow, the day after, it's gone, right? Another new video will come out. It's not like a comedy video where you're gonna go back and watch it over and over, so you should make it 1 hour long. Now Qs, you can see that support we got slightly under that, immediately went back up, and there is a green candle for the day, and it's over 520. So if this thing pushes higher, the next stop definitely 526 to 530, 533. That's where the upper Bollinger Band is, and then maybe even 540 to retest previous all-time highs. To the downside, 520. Underneath that level, you see that 5-day moving average right here on your screen, 519.41. So strong level, and then 515 is the key for downside to possibly roll over and come down and close this gap right here at 507.89. And DIA also rallied today 0.35%. So that rally came off of this stock UNH, and it was a fantastic day. That thing ran and ran and ran, and it's been down for months, guys. I mean, you cannot even find a green candle for a past maybe 6 weeks, and finally going up. So I'm really happy about it. And Dow also catching a breather and got over 428. So if this thing stays over 428, the next stop 433. Below 428, 423, which we held as a support today. You can see right on my screen. Underneath that level, it can come down to 416. Possibly will close this gap, and you will have a gap fill reversal at 415. IWM also today joining the party, and this thing did not recover fully, but if you caught it at the right time, look at this. This cannot get any better. The trade 206, you put a stop right underneath this candle right here. That'll be 205, $1 stop loss, and you can get $3 out of it. Fantastic day trade if you got like 210, 209 calls. But for that, obviously, you need to know where things are. So now, I mean, we did hold this trend line, still bullish for a move up to 210. Over that, we can talk about more upside. This trend line breaks 206. You're going to see a dump off down to 203 to close this gap right here on IWM. VIX had a gap up today, but it actually faded most of the day and just barely holding over 18. So we got close to 20. We did not cross 20, but at least one step in the right direction, getting over $18. So if this thing crosses 20, it can possibly close this gap and we get that pullback in the market. Not a black swan, not a black Monday crash type of thing, but we'll get some sort of a pullback. If that happens, this thing gets up to 20 and then 22 to close this gap. 18 gives up, then market will likely to go and retest that will target at 600 and possibly even retest previous all-time highs. So definitely worth watching. VIX right here over 18. And gold also was up, which is kind of a red flag for the day. I'm not gonna bring it up here and do the analysis. We sold our position on GDX. You guys saw that at the beginning of the video. So gold is also up. That is also a red flag because if the market, going up, well, why is gold going up? Yields are going up. So, something has to give here. And I think very soon you're going to find out if the market is not, really buying these, crashes and all that and just going higher, or possibly market will come down and cool off. Maybe, some consolidation and people that are waiting on the sideline to buy the next dip, they will be able to get in here in this market, and they'll be able to make money as well. So let me know your thoughts, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated going into tomorrow night.